Your dog, in truth, doesn't think of you as a human being. When it looks at you, it doesn't see a face, it doesn't hear a name, nor does it see a person as you imagine. It only senses your warmth, the familiar rhythm of your steps, and the scent that comforts it, the scent that says you are home. Sounds strange, doesn't it? A creature you feed, nurture, take for walks each day, yet it doesn't regard you as a fellow human. But strangely enough, it's because of that the love it offers you is purer, deeper, and more enduring than anyone else's in the world. For it, you're not a human with a job, a phone, or a past. You are a familiar heartbeat, a safe place to return to the center of its tiny world filled with love. When you leave, the room seems emptier. When you return merely, your breath is enough to make it tremble with joy. So in the eyes of your dog, who are you if not a human? In this video, we'll explore the hidden truths that few ever realize, why it still sits waiting at the threshold, though you've been gone for so long, why it can sense your sadness even before you speak, and why, though years go by, in its most gentle dreams, it still finds you. Because to it, you are not just the owner. You are not a human. You are home, you are the heart, you are where it belongs forever. Part 1. It waits for someone who will never return. There is something haunting about the image of a dog sitting quietly in front of a door. No bark, no cry, just silent waiting. Every sound of a car outside, every foreign footstep makes it look up, its eyes lighting for a moment in hope, then fade again. It doesn't understand death. To it, you haven't vanished, you're just late. It still believes that if it waits just a little more, the door will open and you'll stand there calling its name like every day. Day after day, it lies beside your old shoes, keeps watch by the corner of the house where your warmth once remained. Not out of hope, but out of loyalty. Because to a dog, love has no ending, only just a bit longer. And perhaps what makes the scene choke us up isn't that it's lonely, but that deep inside, we wish we could love someone, wait for someone, with a heart so simple. Part 2. It smells your sadness before you speak. There are days when you say nothing. No tears, no complaint. Just silence. Yet your dog comes, gently rests its head on your leg, sighs as though to say, "I know you're sad." Dogs live in a world of sense and feelings, not reason. When your heart is heavy, your body changes. The breath slows, the heartbeat shifts, and the smell on your skin alters. It senses all this before you even realize you've sunk. It doesn't say words of comfort, doesn't attempt to fix things. It just stays quiet, warm, and close enough so you never feel alone. That isn't instinct. That is love. And sometimes a single soft touch of that wet nose is enough to remind us there is a heart quietly feeling our sadness and loving us without needing words. Part 3. It knows when you're about to come home. Have you ever wondered why each time you're about to open the door, your dog is already there waiting? It's no coincidence. It knows. Dogs follow your rhythm, your time, your steps, even the rhythm of the air when you approach. It remembers the familiar car, the breeze pulling at the door, and even the scent in the air each time you come home. To it, you are a signal, no need to see you, and it knows you're coming. And the moment the door opens, its whole small world lights up. The tail wags non-stop, the eyes glisten, the breath comes in, excited gasps, everything shouting, finally you're home, to a human that might be just an everyday moment. But for it, that's a recurring miracle every afternoon. Because in a dog's world, happiness is simple, just seeing the one it loves return. Part 4. Its eyes don't just look, they remember. Have you ever caught your dog watching you for a long, deep moment, not asking for food, not asking to play, just quietly following your every move? In that moment, you may think it's just watching for fun, but actually its eyes are remembering you. Every time you smile, every hug, every gentle word, they're deeply imprinted in its memory. For a dog, a gaze isn't merely observation, it's preservation. It remembers how you call its name. It remembers your steps when you were tired. It remembers your voice when you were happy. Even remembers your breath when you were sad. And when you look away too quickly, those eyes still follow as if to ask, Do you still see me? Because in its world, sight is the link between two hearts. A single look from you can calm it for the whole day. Maybe if humans also looked at each other with such intent, with such pure emotion, we would understand what it means to love without speaking. Part 5. When you hurt it, it doesn't bark. It just retreats quietly. Have you ever raised your voice at your dog and seen it quietly turn away? No reaction, no bark, no fleeing, just bowing its head, ears, flat eyes sad. That silence hurts more than any words of reproach. The dog doesn't understand why you're angry. It doesn't know what went wrong, but it senses the change in your voice, your breath, your gaze. To it, your anger is not being offended, it's losing warmth. And what breaks its heart is that distance. It doesn't fear being scolded, it fears being distant. It fears the softness in the one it loves no longer being there. Yet strangely, when you reach out even just a gentle stroke, it immediately forgets its hurt. No resentment, no demand. Just a nudge of its head into your hand like it wants to say, I'm still here. I still love you. Perhaps that's something we humans should learn. Know how to love, know how to forgive, and know how to come back, even when our hearts have been hurt. Part 6. It chooses one heart to belong to. In a house with many people, you'll notice your dog always turns toward one person. Not the one who feeds it, not the one who bathes it, nor the one who buys the toys, but the one whose voice brings it peace, whose hand it trusts, and whose heart beats in sync with its own. Dogs don't choose by reason. They choose by feeling, by soul. Among hundreds of sounds, it still recognizes your call. Among the crowd, just your approach makes its tail gently wag. It knows you in a way nobody else could. That love doesn't demand many conditions. It's not for food, not for reward. It simply chooses you, and once it has, it never changes. Wherever you go, whatever you do, it will follow you silently, obediently, and with unending loyalty. For it, you're not just a familiar person, you're the whole world. The place where it puts its heart down and knows it's safe. And if one day you ask who truly loves you the most, look down to your feet. Perhaps the answer is there with those clear eyes and that gently wagging tail. Part 7. It senses things you cannot see. Have you ever seen your dog suddenly freeze, gaze into empty space, or press close to your legs when nothing seems to be happening? Don't dismiss it as meaningless, because very possibly it is sensing something your eyes cannot. Dogs live by instinct and subtle emotions. They pick up human energies, a rapid breath, a slight tremble, or the shift of scent on your body when you're afraid or anxious. When something's wrong, they know. When someone makes you uneasy, they feel it before you even realize why. Because in their world, a human is not just a shape or a voice, but a distinct rhythm. Each person is a melody, and they hear when the rhythm goes off beat. At such times, instinct compels them to step between you and danger, to bark softly, or simply to move closer as if to say, I'm here. Don't be afraid. Sometimes what we call intuition to them is simply love. A love deep enough to make their hearts tremble when yours does. Part 8. It reads your face. Have you ever noticed that even when you try to hide your emotions, your dog still picks up on them? Just a slight frown, a fleeting sad glance, or a forced smile, and it knows something is wrong. Dogs read your face as we read a book we know by heart. They recognize when your eyes are weary, when your lips tremble with emotion, or when you smile but your heart isn't in it. And the extraordinary thing is, they never judge. They just move towards you, raise their head, and look at you as if to say, I know. It's okay. Many studies show that dogs can distinguish dozens of human expressions, from joy to sadness to anger to fear. But what sets them apart is how they respond gently, quietly, and lovingly. They don't try to cheer you up with words. They just stay, their eyes steady, tail lightly wagging enough to remind you that someone is still listening with their whole heart. Because to them, your face isn't just an image. It is a mirror of the soul they love with all instinct. Part 9. It mirrors your feelings. Have you ever noticed that when you're happy, your dog seems to smile too? And when you're sad, its eyes droop and it quietly stays beside you? It doesn't just sense your feelings. It reflects them like a truthful mirror of your soul. When you're tired, it lies quieter. When you're happy, it runs around, tail wagging nonstop. When you're angry, it gently steps back, waiting until the air clears. It adjusts itself to your emotional rhythm as though the hearts of both creatures are beating together. Researchers call this emotional mirroring, reflecting emotions. But for dogs, it isn't a phenomenon. It's love. A love unconditional, making them empathize and bond so deeply they forget the boundary between me and you. So when you smile, smile truly. When you cry, don't hesitate to let them near. Because your heart is the lamp that lights up their world, and sometimes their happiness is simply living in that light. Part 10. It dreams of you when sleeping. Have you ever seen your dog sleeping deeply, its little legs twitching, mouth making soft sounds, tail gently wagging as it dreams? People often smile and say it's chasing someone in its sleep, but perhaps that someone is you. Science shows dogs have dreams just like humans. They dream of things familiar to sense, sounds, and moments that made their hearts beat. And in that dream world, you always appear as the familiar voice, the stroking hand, the footsteps they know by heart. When you see their little paws move in sleep, maybe they're chasing you across a sunlit field. When they sigh softly, maybe they found your arms again where they feel safest. For a human, a dream may be a place to forget. But for a dog, a dream is a place to find again. A place where they relive the moments of peace beside the one they love most. And maybe tonight in a deep dream, you two are smiling in their little world where love never disappears, it only sleeps for a while. Part 11. They age faster because they love too much. Have you ever looked at your dog and suddenly realized time has flown by? Just the other day, it was a small puppy, running all around the house, and now the fur around its eyes is gray. It steps slower. People say dogs have shorter lives than humans, but perhaps the real reason is because they love too much. Every day with you, they live fully. Every moment they heap their heart into feeling your joy, your sadness, the waiting when you leave, and the happiness when you return. They love with everything they've got until that love makes time pass faster. They aren't afraid of growing old. They only fear not having enough time beside you anymore. So whenever you come home, the tail still wags as strongly as on the first day. Every look still full of love, as though they're trying to remember one more day, one more afternoon, one more moment with you. If there's a next life, maybe they would ask to live more slowly to love you just a little longer. But while they're here, they choose to love, fully love, until they forget about time. Because in every heartbeat of theirs, each minute beside you is a lifetime. Now maybe you understand. Your dog doesn't think you're human. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor, busy or lonely. It only knows one thing wherever you are: that's home. You are the scent that makes it feel safe, the voice that makes it wag its tail, the footsteps that make its tiny world meaningful. Wherever you go, whatever you do in its heart, you are always the center. You are the heartbeat of happiness. When you leave, it will wait. When you are sad, it will come close. When you sleep, it will dream of you. And when time makes its back bend, its eyes blur, it will still look at you with the same gaze as the first day, complete, gentle, and unchanged. A dog doesn't love because you are a human. It loves because you are its whole world. You are a home with no walls. You are a heart with no boundaries. And perhaps in this hurried life, that love is the truest thing we are lucky to receive. So when you come home tonight, crouch down gently, touch its head, and say one sentence: thank you. Thank you for loving me in a way no one else could.